Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to the beautiful Lone Oak Farm. This is episode number 4, and we are in a brand new game day as we're trudging along with the work already this morning. The boys are out working as I speak. We are putting lime down on the big field that's up by the lone oak tree, getting it ready for perhaps canola, I believe. And the other guy, Jack, is over cultivating. I think one of them has just actually finished, I think, cultivating one of the other larger fields. And this seeder has a little bit of an issue with putting seeds down when, even though you lift it and everything out of the way, it still wants to put seeds down on the higher elevation. So that's why I am turning it off and lifting it both at the same time just to kind of avoid that. I noticed that it was actually putting seeds down over on the other field yesterday when I was seeding that, but we went ahead and cultivated that in, so we're not going to have a mixed match of wheat growing with canola or whatever we're going to plant over there. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and I hope that you have enjoyed what you've been seeing here on Lone Oak Farm. I've certainly been enjoying playing this map and bringing you all of the episodes. Now, our soil temperature, I think, has dropped a degree or two from the first day. I haven't changed anything. I did not change the geo. I decided to go ahead and stick with the Midwest geo. I know that the Idaho geo is out, but I'd already spent some time getting everything going with this map. I probably had 4 or 5 hours on the map when I realized that geo was available, and I had some Discord conversations with a few folks, and just really kind of concerned. Even though I could have done it in the first game day, maybe would have been safe, but I would rather be safe than sorry and not mess anything up. And even though Lone Oak map is based on a farm in Idaho, or I'm sorry, Oregon, and we're playing it as if it's based in Oregon, if the temperatures and everything are not 100% spot on, we'll just blame it on global warming, and we'll just call it that. Take a drink of my iced tea. Good stuff this evening. In the real world, I think it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening, the 24th of September, and yeah, I'm cranking out these episodes, feeling good about the gameplay, enjoying my time, certainly with this map, and of course enjoying bringing you this action from this beautiful map as well. Sorry about the trees there, and I'll come around and put a headland around on this other side here at some point in time. As I said, we are in the second game day of a 9-game day season, so we do have quite a bit of spring still left in our step, and lots of things to do over the coming episodes. Obviously, we'll eventually get to start doing some mowing and start getting some hay and some silage and everything put away, so that will be fun, I'm sure. And for right now, we're just going to continue to plant seeds where we can, when we can, and just mainly hope for the best. Hope that we have some good rain and some good sunshine and good everything else that we need. Don't really know, I guess, through the magic of our weather systems, I guess that our crops always get the right kind of moisture. Would be nice if eventually Giants would allow or incorporate some kind of irrigation system. I think that would be fun. I would really love to see some of the big irrigation type sprinkler systems that are visible on many farms that you might see as you drive up and down the road. As a matter of fact, when my wife and I went to Estes Park last week, we went through a little bit of corn country. Here, even at altitude, at a little, well, about a mile high, we've got quite a few corn farms, corn getting grown, and they have not harvested yet. And it was, at this point, it was around the 20th of September when we went up there. And well, same as last year. I noticed, and I even commented to my wife that, they ought to start thinking about getting that corn in because really at this particular point in time, we could have, if we had the right weather system that came around, we could actually have snow. Believe it or not, even at this elevation, and maybe even frost. Obviously frost if we have snow, but the morning temperatures have been in the upper 40s here, getting that low, and daytime highs in the mid 70s. It has been absolutely incredible. I love this weather, as I talked about a few episodes ago. But no, the corn's still out there. And of course, they do corn mazes for Halloween, but that's not what these are. These are working farms. I don't know if they will cut it for silage. I would think that if they were going to cut corn for silage, they would have already done that. So this may be for feed or whatever. And but yeah, it was looking good, and I've been kind of surprised to see farms grow this close to the mountains. They were maybe 25, 30 miles from the foothills, this particular area that we noticed on the drive up. But, um, but hey, I'm sure it all works out. I'm sure they know what they're doing. I'm sure they don't need some guy that plays an agricultural based simulation game to stop by and tell them what to do, right? We're going to grow, obviously, we're going to grow wheat on this map. We're going to grow some corn on this map. And for sure, we're going to do some canola on this map. And if the opportunity allows us to double plant, it might with the Midwest Geo. We will do some soybeans. And we are also, as I have been talking about in previous episodes, most likely going to try to do sugar beets. Um, and we will do it the easy way with the big equipment. And I'm not sure if we'll buy that or if we will lease that equipment, but we'll figure something out. I don't have it yet, but then again, oops, I'm not playing, I'm not playing too precise, at least with money and everything. Not too concerned about that. Just about having fun, enjoying it. For each their own. Everybody has a different style. As I've often talked, there is no right or wrong way to play the game. What matters most is that you play and that you enjoy it. And of course, anything that you ever do in life, you should always enjoy it. Otherwise, it becomes more like a job than it is a hobby. And we like to have fun when we participate in our hobbies, anyways. So talked to my dad this morning, and he is doing, I think, as well as can be expected. Obviously, it is tough. The loss of my mom has really been a struggle for him, and I think that um, he thought he was going to go first, type mentality. And I think we all do. I think most guys probably, especially if you're older. My dad was about 4 years older than my mom. I'm about 5 years older than my wife. And I think we always kind of think, the guys always want to kind of think that we're going to go first. And I think that's what he felt. And I think that this has been a huge shock to him. And he is, he's functioning. He's not 100% lost without my mom. My father-in-law is having a lot more difficulty in coping with the loss of his wife, because she did really run sort of the household and everything. My dad did a lot of that stuff for my mom, but he has decided, and right or wrong, because he is of sound mind and body, and I really truly believe that I want him to be happy, and whatever he chooses to do, I think is the right, possibly the right method. But he has decided to sell the house that he and my mom lived in. They bought this house about 6 years ago, And part of the reasons for them buying it was because, hospitals were nearby, their doctors were nearby, grocery store was nearby, fast food kind of things, obviously nearby, all those kind of things. And so, you know, he tells me that there's just too many memories of my mom in the house, and he doesn't want to forget my mom. That is the last thing that my dad wants to do. But I think that at the same time, maybe, him selling the house, and him relocating to something that's a little bit smaller. This is a 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2.5 car garage kind of thing, huge kitchen, all this kind of stuff. My mom loved to cook. Um, and it's just too much house for him. And he has decided to sell it. He's going to basically put it on the market after Thanksgiving, because my wife and I are going to go down for Thanksgiving, and he's going to put it on the market and hopefully sell it. And he has bought a piece of land, and he is going to have a little cabin built on it. And best I can describe the cabin is sort of, oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's sort of a fancy portable building, if you will. But they are quite fancy nowadays. And I think it'll be good for him. Um, and he's kind of looking forward to it. So he bought him a lot, and he's just making decisions, and I think living life the best way that he knows how to be able to do. My situation, he fully understands it. He knows that my wife and I are about 7 years away from retirement, and if everything continues, obviously, knock on wood, and hopefully, the economy stays fine and all that stuff. I'm too old to try to, be an old guy at the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak, at a new job or a new company or something like that. I can't really relocate with the company that I'm at now. And so he understands that. He understands that, that we just can't drop that and move. But he still needs to do the things that are going to make the most sense for him, as he continues to live out his life as a widower. So I talk to him a few times a week, and we have good conversations, and sometimes the conversations end up in tears, and I try to listen, and I try to understand as best as I possibly can, and he understands my point of view as well, because yes, he lost his wife, but I lost my mom. And I think one of the strangest feelings for me, has been thinking about the fact that in just a few days, in about a week and a half, I will I will turn 53 years old, and this will be the first birthday, um, in my life without my mom. And the thing that I have sort of struggled with is that anytime between now and, say, 2 or 3 days before my birthday, I would pretty much always expect to be able to go to the mailbox, and there would be a homemade card, because my mom absolutely loves scrapbooking. And there would be a homemade card that my mom made for me for my birthday. And that's not going to happen. And that has been something that I have been thinking about. And to be honest with you, these were not thoughts that I had, back in April when she passed away. These were not thoughts that I had, sort of in the summer, or um, things like that. These are thoughts that I am having because it's coming up on sort of an event in my life, a time marker, if you will, where, you know, I'm not going to get that card. I'm not going to have a phone conversation with her on my birthday. And of course, I haven't even begun to think about Thanksgiving without her, although that obviously is coming, or Christmas without her, or her birthday, which is in January, or things like that. Well, Mother's Day was tough for me. I will admit that when Mother's Day came around in May, and I go to the store and I see all the Mother's Day cards and stuff like that, that was tough, because I would normally always, get a card, send some flowers, stuff like that, and but I know that I know it gets easier. Everybody says that. Everybody says, that for after the first year, after the second year and stuff like that, it gets better. It's easier. It doesn't get better, but I suppose it gets easier. So anyway, well, let's see. This is our second wheat field that is in the ground. I'm just going to check and make sure that everything looks good over here. I think it does. And I'll just leave that. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and fill this in right here where I missed, because we can. And this is probably going to be another short episode. I don't really have a lot that I want to cover in this episode, other than me completely skipping over that spot there, because I hit B twice instead of just once. There we go. All right, so let's fold this guy up and head back to the main farm. So we got wheat in these two fields. Basically 32 and 28 are our wheat fields. Hopefully that soil temperature will creep back up a little bit, because 43 is our minimum temperature for wheat, according to seasons. And so hopefully we'll get that to go up, and those seeds will germinate, and we'll get some nice wheat coming up. We soon should have the opportunity to do some mowing, which obviously will create some work that we'll need to do for tethering the hay, baling the hay, grass for silage, all those kinds of things that we can end up doing for fun, for all that good stuff. So let's hop out of that, and I will go and see if I have improved my pallet handling skills for just a few minutes before I cut you loose, and then we'll call this an episode. Get in our trusty little I think this is this the Manitou that I got here? No, this is the little Massey telehandler. I do like a telehandler. I think I've pretty much always, ever since I guess with 17, I started using a telehandler instead of using a tractor with a front loader or whatever. I just find that the telehandler, for me, in my poor bell handling skills, works just a little bit better than a tractor does. But each their own, right? And I can see that I did not get this guy put on there very well, so he's probably going to struggle coming off. But maybe we'll just go ahead and come over here and empty him. Like that. Not sure when this episode will air. I have recorded, obviously this is episode number 4 of Lone Oak Farm, and I've got episodes staged for episode 2 will go live on, it's actually tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th of September, and then episode 3 will be on Friday. I'm kind of doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so I don't know if this one will carry over to next week, or if maybe I'll still let this one go maybe on Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, did pretty good there. Not necessarily attempting to try to build a queue or anything like that. It just so happens that I've had the opportunity to get some episodes recorded, get some gameplay done, which I have enjoyed playing. And but we've got those honeydew projects coming up this weekend. I've decided, instead of renting that ladder, I've decided to go ahead and buy one of those nice A-frame adjustable ladders. It's the type that is about 6 feet folded up. It's in 4 sections, so it will go up to. It has I think a 13-foot reach on it. And instead of renting it, which it would cost about $60 to rent, and that's per day, And really and truthfully, with as much painting as we have to do, plus those lights that my wife wants me to hang up, um, I'm probably looking at 2 days. Well, that's $120 just in rental. Um, and I can buy it for a little over 200. And I'm thinking that this could be something that could come in handy for other projects and stuff. And I think that that will just be the way that I will do that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you watching my episodes, tuning in, and catching my activities and everything that I'm doing. What do you mean I need to no, I need to R to refill. Catching my activities here on Lone Oak Farm and watching all the trouble that we try to get into or stay out of, I should say. I thank you for your friendship, and I look forward to you all coming back here on Lone Oak Farm and catching another episode at some point in the future. And until then, I will say God bless you all. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, whatever the day of the week it might be, or weekend. And I will see you here for episode number 5 on Lone Oak Farm sometime very soon. God bless you all. Bye bye for now.